Hey folks, Jim here, aka Pallet of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another issue of Mortal Realms magazine. As per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below. It is always great to hear from you guys as well. This week we're on issue 47. We get the Farstriders as well as our models for this week. So these Stormcast Eternals are Vanguard-hunters. They are quick build, they are from the Underworld's range. So they are smaller quantities and they are an effective warband on their own and everything like that as well. And they are pretty cool and they are pretty decent, and I must admit I've not had them before, so I'm looking forward to getting onto them. Into the actual issue itself, of course, we're going to be greeted by a page about the Vanguard-hunters. So Vanguard-hunters are the elite infantry of the Vanguard auxiliary chambers. They are expert scouts and warriors who excel at fighting behind enemy lines, attacking the enemy where they least expect it. So, with the Vanguard-hunters, they are guerrilla warfare specialists, essentially. They don't use subterfuge, they don't use stealth or anything like that. They literally use the land and their mobility to wage that warfare behind enemy lines against their enemy, which is always very, very handy to have. They're pretty cool looking. They have a nice look on them no matter what kind of chamber you're painting or anything like that. So, and they have, of course, their own tools. They have a bolt storm pistols, which are them small one-handed, like crossbow-looking weapons. So bolt storm pistols are relatively light and can be easily fired on the move, making them excellent weapons for mobile warriors. They have these short hand axes, a potent which is a shock hand axe. A potent weapon infused with the storm power of Azir. The shock hand axe's short haft makes it easy to wield in close quarters fighting. Some of them also carry Astral Compass, which is devised by wizards from the Collegiate Arcane. These devices allow the bearer to navigate the impossible landscapes of the mortal realms. And occasionally they'll carry a Storm Saber instead of the axe and stuff like that. Storm Sabers are stout, heavy-bladed swords that are just as effective at cutting a path through dense thickets and tangled briars as they are from rending the flesh off the chaos of servants of chaos. There, I can't speak. So yeah, they carry some awesome weaponry, which is pretty cool. Then we're going to get a bit of story kind of going along with them as well, because of course these are the Farstriders and they are from the Shadespire set. So we have information about Sanson's Farstriders. So the Vanguard-hunters of the Hammers of Sigmar, Sanson's Farstriders were tasked with learning more about Shadespire's mysterious shade glass. With the aid of Sanson Farstriders, Star Falcon, Gilthrich, I think I probably pronounced that massively wrong. The trio of warriors scouted the ancient ruins, locating a yawning pit which led to the depths of the mirrored city. So, as these kind of guys drop down into the mirrored city and into the depths of Shadespire itself, they kind of found themselves lost and trapped down there with the majority of the other denizens of that cursed city. So of course, Shadespire being a once great city of Shyish before it was cursed by Nagash, and those who enter the mirrored city can never ever leave. It is kind of separate from space and time, and it is like its own kind of miniature realm itself as well. Which, as I'll always recommend it, anytime Shadespire is brought up, read the novel. The novel is really, really, really good, and definitely worth having a look at. Of course, we've got a bit more information about the Farstriders here. So we've got Elias Swiftblade. In his mortal life, Swiftblade was a wandering duelist who struck down countless servants of dark gods. Sanson Farstrider is said to be one of the most skilled wayfinders and scouts in all of the many storm hosts. And Almeric Eagle-Eye. Almeric Eagle-Eye's uncanny ability to sense danger has saved the lives of his fellow warriors many times. So, they're trapped in the cursed city of Shadespire, of course. They are kind of stuck there, whether they want to be or not. But So are many other warriors, of course. On here we've got some information about some more of the forces of death. So this is the Bone Reapers, so the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, so Orpheon Catacross, Mortarch of the Necropolis, an immortal strategist who coordinates not just the battle before him, but a campaign of conquest that spans the mortal realms. Those who seek to strike him down are slain by the champions who accompany him, or carved apart by the Mortarch's glaive. So Catacross is an awesome looking model, in all honesty. So he has multiple kind of parts to this model. So there is the Liege Immortis, which is number 1 there. So the Liege Immortis commands the Immortis Guard, whose task it is to protect the Mortarch. You have the Shield Immortis. So enscrolled with death magic, this shield renders Catacross almost impossible to harm. Genesis Scroll Bearer is kneeling just before him there. So the Scroll Bearers are Catacross's keepers of knowledge, and they also act as scribes. Number 4, which is his glaive there, which is Inda Khat. Enchanted by Nagash himself, Catacross's blade is capable of killing even a god. You have him there, the banner, which is a Prime Necrophros. So the Prime Necrophros bears Catacross's sacred banner, holding it aloft for all to see. And then in there, you got Aviarch Spymaster. Aviarch Spymasters provide the avian messengers utilised by the Bone Reapers. So an interesting model, a very, very nice model as well. I must admit, it's one of the more interesting Mortarch models. So the Spymasters, you got a bit more information about some of the other pieces here. So Spymasters, Prime Necrophros, Liege Immortalis, and the Genosis Scrollbearer as well. So very, very interesting to have that kind of in there as well, and gives you a glimpse into the kind of the variation of the kind of different models that you can get from the death range and everything like that, whether you want the ghouls, the good old Bone Reapers, whether you want just Nighthorns, or if you even want to try and just go for all the Mortarchs, you can do that if you wish to, but very, very interesting to have that in there as well, to kind of expand your knowledge of Nagash's legions. Your how to build section, of course, they're relatively easy. They are push fit, so you do not need glue if you do not want them to be glued. It is entirely up to you. They can just literally slot together. Just make sure it's probably going to be easier if you paint them in sub-assemblies in some instances, but that is always up to you. And your paint section, painting with their cloaks. The cloaks are completely different from the others. It is literally an animal skin, essentially. So you can do some very, very nice looks with them as well. And of course you've got that Star Falcon as well, which you've got to paint feathers, which you can do. It'll be fairly easy. You can definitely have a lot of fun with all of these, and it'll keep you going for quite a while. Just paint up those bases as well. I'll paint them separately, of course, from the model, because you will have a model in the way for all of it, which will not be very, very helpful in all honesty, and you can get a really nice looking bunch of models out of it, which will be really, really good. Then of course you've got the War Scrolls, so you've got the expanded War Scrolls here, so they have of course their weapons listed on there. So you've got the missile weapon, which is the Boltstorm pistol, and their 2 melee weapons, which is the Shock Hand Axe and the Storm Saber. They have of course abilities, so Astral Compass, the Star Falcon, and Tireless Hunters. They are pretty cool. It is a pretty decent War Scroll to have as well, and it will show you how to use the Star Falcon and being Tireless Hunters as well over there. Then the actual battle plan itself kind of gives you a lot more information, and it is the Tide of Undeath, it is called. This will give you, it's a bit chunkier than normal, so it gives you a bit more stuff and everything like that as well, so it's giving you a bit more push through around to do with the Sigmar and everything like that. And if you want to go for a battle for the battle plan itself, which is hunting for Shamanite. So you want Spirit Torment, Dreadblade Harrow, 2 Chain Gas, 15 Chain Rasps, going up against Stormcast Eternals of the Knight Azeroth, 3 Prosecutors for Far Striders, and 5 Liberators. Just 1 battle mat needed for these, and 2 objectives on there, and that should keep you going for a little while. And going into next week though, we have Reichner the Grimhailer, which is another quick build model. It is one of the Night Haunts, pretty different. A lot of detail can be put into this one, where most people think quick builds models are just cheap tat and not worth having, but these have got a lot of detail in them. So anybody with that opinion probably couldn't be too far wrong. He's miles out on their opinions of what the quick builds must mean. It just means that they are literally assembled very, very easily in a lot of ways. And then issue 49 is going to come with Administratum Grey and White Scar paints, both handy to have. But yeah, I'd prefer to see more models, as we all know really. But in all honesty, Administratum Grey is actually a really, really decent paint to have. White Scar can go very, very watery. That is the only downside with it. And when it does go watery, it is annoying as hell, and it is no good for anything. So hopefully it will not do that. Right then. Thank you all very, very, very much for watching, and I will be back in the very, very near future with some more content for you guys to check out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.